I was remembering last time we were talking, they sell a camera that is for the computer. It looked like one of those
I'm sorry, but I'm streaming too, by the way. So
they sell those cameras that they have it. It looked like one of those webcams. The only thing is that camera shoots 180 4K. So what you do is that on that camera, you zoom in
into the person,
into a person and it tracks.
like
So
where
when
you
the
are,
person moves, it looked like somebody over here
like
is doing
someone's
this,
actually like
moving.
actually like recording me.
But in reality, it's just that one camera because it's 4K, so it has more pixels, so it can grab you like from here
Exactly.
very easy. And I was not, that's sort of like, oh, that's something that can work for you.
That
Instead of having like, you see how you have it like this?
yeah I was hoping to find a way to like increase the quality, so that would
Correct.
probably be a good
But
idea. Yeah.
it's a, you adapt it,
No, where's cool.
you adapt it, you put it here, so it can grab more than that. And
But how it's pretty expensive, right?
I don't think it's going to be more than 300 or
Really? Wait, really?
I'm sure there's got to be uh, cameras already out there. This is not like something just new to happen. It's been there in the market already.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that the ones that are pretty expensive, you know.
But
Oh, just let me switch my view here. Oh yeah.
if I have a chance today, if I look at it, I'll
Send it to me.
send it
You
to
have
you.
my WhatsApp, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, yes. Please send it to me. But thank you so much. That probably would be a good investment for this whole thing.
Here.
Take care, man. Uh,
You know, that's really finer keys.
yeah.
And also, fucking magnets. Some like they just disappear.
Yeah, I haven't found them.
It's quite a soul, so
Seems unlikely.
it's like I should see like a little weird thing.
Sure.
I remember seeing them on one of the tables. Like it looked like with seals and magnets.
I think the same thing.
Like have you ever watched Breaking Bad? You know the dialogue,
Yeah.
the laptop.
But that was a diff that was no, but that was an electromagnet. That's a different type of magnet. There's a big difference between an electromagnet and a normal magnet. Yeah, one is like an electromagnet is inert until current flows through it. So basically, it doesn't attract anything until the current flows. The other one is constantly. Yeah. Oh, let me get a marker. So today, based on so I want to do a review of the other stuff that we did yesterday because you actually didn't go to the thing of so we could create a staging. So I want to do that real quick. Let's see if we can do that in this class right now using the assets that we already have. Yeah. Let me just get something else. So, all right. So, okay, I'm here. Yeah. So yesterday we talked about the pirate. Well, not yesterday, like on Monday. Pirate. Right? The pirate that needs to remember all the spots that he travels on the island in order to get to the spot, right? Yeah. Can you even see this on the? That's with the. Oh shit, it's raining. It's with what's it called? Very hard to see. Hold on. Try to make it so there's not that many, not much reflection. It's as good as it's gonna get. Well, I really to this weekend I'll try to improve the quality. Feel like an actual like an actual webcam. Yeah, get a webcam that points that way. That way the reflection from the window does. Well, we'll try to do our best. So this thing, right? So we save. Yeah, we save the array, right? We save the positions on the array, right? Yeah. So now let's think about it on the context of the snake game. Okay? So because there is something that's gonna be huh? So you all are spacing like we said last class, like yeah. So how does that how is that going to work? So there's many ways of going about it. Yeah. Right? The thing about coding, like that's why I was like kind of like twist my head around. There's like so many different ways of doing it. I just don't know which one is like best. There, but yeah, there's a more right way. But the thing is that you will only understand it the right way once you understand the more or less data structures. You have to understand data structures in order to understand what way is more right usually. And what way is more right is the way that requires less resources. Okay, so less computation and less memory. Okay, yeah. So the if you can minimize those two, you're doing better. Okay, but to understand how to minimize computation and how to minimize memory. Oh, so wait, this is what's going on the stream right now. Oh, okay, cool. To minimize what's to minimize computation, to minimize memory, we need to understand what each process is doing. Okay, so quick thing about the arrays. Okay, to understand. So for example, you already know, right? You already know that you when you're creating this snake, right? Yeah. You have like a little box. Okay, you have like a little box with slots on it, right? And each slot's labeled like one, two. Oh, yeah, I should make this bigger. Maybe if I can. Let me see if I'm gonna try to make it bigger. So it's easier to see. Kind of hard to see, but whatever. That's like the list, right? Yeah, this is an array, right? Yeah. These arrays are structured, right? They start from zero. What even is the difference between a list, right? Is one like just is an array just like just using integers? Well, list is a depends. I mean, an array is a list, yeah. Right? But it depends on the programming. I mean, right. The correct there's no difference per se. There's no difference. Some different programming languages use the name list, and they started from one. I don't. I think Lua does that. What? Some languages. Oh. I mean, most JavaScript, Python, C++, Java, they go like this.
So yeah.
Some other languages do it the other way. All right. So we have these lots, right? And you gotta think that these are all resources that you're using, okay? Your computer has a limited amount of these slots. They might be like billions, but they're limited, okay? They're finite, okay? As well as your time is limited, okay? It takes time to check each of these boxes, even though you're checking them at the speed of light, okay? Because you can, what the computer does, let's say that you tell the computer that you want to check this array, 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 and if you think about it, when we're drawing the little path behind it, you are asking it to do that. You're asking it, yeah, to review these things, and you're doing it like 10 times every second.
We should wait like
Yes, for example, yeah, yes, but for example, there's certain things that you gotta think about what you can do and like what you need. For example, like if I need to draw the snake every time, if I need to animate a snake, okay, I need to draw every segment of the snake every time. So there's no way of me going around like what I want to do, right? So for our path, we have to visit each of these guys, and we have to visit each of those boxes. Now, the part that is a bit more interesting about this whole data structures part is that this is like drawing the snake is, let's say, the easier part. Now, actually finding out like what the where the snake is at that point in time is a bit of the harder part.
right.
So now we go into the deleting of it, okay?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you have to delete something in a computer?
Yeah.
Okay? So usually what you're doing is you are just like, and computers work in this same way too, that you have like these little boxes with names on them, and you have little bits of data on each of these boxes, okay? And if you want to delete something, usually you just delete their label. Okay, you delete their label. This thing, the information is still there, but now this thing that used to have information on it now is marked as being able to be rewritten. So before, this is all reserved. Hey, how you doing, guys? Uh, I'm streaming there, so don't say any horrible things. Okay? Yes, I am. No, no worries. I am reviewing the whole thing. We're gonna do a quick game from zero, like a snake game. Okay, so if you guys wanna like catch up, it's a good time. Yeah. So, but first I'm reviewing a little bit of memory. So you probably want to learn about this. So, so, so when you have memory, right? Usually in your memory, all the spots are reserved, and they have because if they have a label, they are reserved. Okay. So you have all the memory, and let's say this spot was labeled as 5, right? And then you get rid of the label. So now the computer knows that it can rewrite whatever was in here. So in here you could have, I don't know, a house. Okay.
Is that what?
When no. Okay, so let me get to that. Let
Yeah.
me get to that. So when you append, you're adding an item to this,
Oh,
which is which is a bit of an even more complex process, but well, I'll get to that here in a bit. The part that I want to get to is the deletion because that's the part that when you're append. Oh, well, so let me get to that. So append, what's append? Append is that you're adding an extra box to the, adding an extra one. You're adding an extra one and then you're adding something
Yeah.
here.
I have been using D for like a little bit, so
So I don't know, that's a Patrick Star. I don't know, this
yeah.
is a house. Like there could be many different things on in every box, right? So yes. So I think that your mind's on the right place right now.
Yeah.
Because the delete function can take many shapes, actually. Now, let's say I have this list, right? I have this list which has all these shapes. Uh, I'm just gonna try to do like different things, so you can understand, so you can kind of understand where all why this is kind of time consuming. So remember, your more one of the most important resources you have is time. Okay, so let's say I have this list that I'm building, okay, and I keep adding things to it. Um, I don't know, but whatever. I just added this last part, right? Yeah. This part was just added. Okay. Now, in the snake game context, right? Every time I'm adding something new to the top, I need to get rid of something here on the back. But how do you actually do that? So you can't. Okay. You can you So think about what you would have to do. So that's interesting. You will have to, let's say, okay, that I want to get rid of this first item. Okay. Yeah. I take out the label on top of that. But what happened to the rest of the list? Now the rest of the list starts from one. Now I get rid of this. Now the list starts from two. Now I get rid of this. The list starts from three. And just like that, the whole rest of the system could crumble. Yeah. Because the way that our loop method is supposed to work is supposed to start from zero, right? And since it's not starting from zero, now we are like, we don't even know where we are anymore. Yes. So, for example, that gives you some of the properties that you could use. So, you can choose, for example, one way to go about it, right, is you can choose to stop reading this part. So, for example, I can choose to only read from here. 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 Now, let's say that every time, okay, every time that you want to redraw the snake, you create a new array with everything except the first part, because that's that, yes. So, and depending on how big your array is, that could be like huge, and that happens. So, for example, look, what I would have to do is, let's say that I have this whole thing, and I'm like, okay, my new snake is going to be this whole thing from here to there. So I have to draw a new one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and I have to go, okay, I'm gonna try to be as fast as I can. Trying, but you can already see that it's pretty time consuming. And what I'm doing right now, for example, what I'm doing right now is what the computer does. And then I add, and then I have my end slow. So you see how I basically, what I was doing is I was looking up, I was skipping one, and I was like looking into da 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 da. In order to, was that? What kind of drawing is it? Oh man, it's just it's random data. It's random data, but like I'm just saying that it's the same data as the data from the top, right? So the computer has to do that. Okay, every time that you create like a new array, or that you, let's say that there's an operation, Python. I don't know exactly which one it is, but it removes the first item when you think. It's a very time consuming operation. It might not seem like it was like that to us, because it's literally doing it at the speed of light, which is very fast. But for the computer, let's say that you have to do this operation 10,000 times, then you're gonna notice. Okay, so game developers, software engineers, they have to contest with this constraint all the time. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, this type of thing, like things that like to us seem like almost instantaneous, but to the computer, because the computer does so much, are very, 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 very time consuming. Okay, so when uh when we're gonna be doing this for the snake game, okay, we gotta make our algorithm so that it does not take as much like data space as that. So the first intuition that I get, yeah, 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 yeah. So we're gonna be making one like that. So my first intuition to do this, right, is to never delete the list, okay? I never delete the list. I just keep adding to the back of it. Okay, but I'll go into what that means here in a bit. But I just keep adding to the back of the like adding more and more slots, and I just keep reading like one less. Okay, I just start reading my thing from here, and I end my read here. I don't need to delete it. But now keep in mind that this is also a finite resource. Okay, I cannot keep just adding things until the end of the earth. And also, the memory slot allocated to this list, okay, is also finite, and you don't see it because like there's basically dynamic allocation of memory, but in the reality, and for example, in C++, where you actually have to create these things from scratch, uh, you actually have to like say like, okay, how long is this list going to be? So I cannot just like add a list that keeps growing. That list that keeps growing really doesn't exist because like again, this is finite. And when I say that, okay, when I say that because you have to allocate this bit somewhere, okay? And every time that you're adding a new address to it, there is like a back method that basically deletes the whole thing and pastes it in another thing that is a little bit bigger. So you are actually deleting it and pasting it in somewhere else and making it a little bit bigger every time. That's what dynamic memory allocation does. And you don't see it because the programming language takes care of it, but it is there. And you will feel it even if you don't see it. Okay? So there's ways to deal with that. But for now, let's just get to doing the code. Okay? So let me oh, so let me move my stuff around. You can do it with MacBook too. All right. Yes. So in order to get up to speed, you can go to the thing and just copy paste from update 5, I believe. What did I change here? I'm gonna quick glance through this. Um, so I believe the last thing we did is let me check on this. Oh, this is where I started doing the hitbox. I'm not gonna get, don't go into update 5, stay on update 4. Update 5 is gonna be for hitboxes, so I'll take a look at that after. But I'm gonna basically create another. So I'm gonna create like a branch. I'm just gonna call it like a snake, and it's not gonna be because in our game we have gravity and everything. It's not gonna be like actual snake. But if you want to make one, and actually I might set that as the homework. That probably should be the homework that you make the actual snake game. But I'm just gonna show you the method that we can use right now to make the a pseudo snake game, a snake game with gravity, which doesn't make sense. We're not using a website. We're using remember the okay, let me get you set up real quick so you can follow along. So to see the code that I'm using, you're going to go to github.com/dakapic. Or let me just notepad github. Okay, you got to here. Hold on. Hold on. Just let me get you the right thing. Yeah. Go to this link. You can go to that link. Are you guys on the WhatsApp? Okay, if you're on the WhatsApp, you just go to the WhatsApp and click on the link that I just posted on WhatsApp, okay? And you can get the code from there and just download it and use it from GitHub, okay? So I'm gonna create a new branch here so I don't disturb the code that I have on update 4. So I'm gonna create a new branch from update 4. I'm gonna call it sudo slash snake, sudo snake. And now I'm gonna start working on it. Okay, so how am I thinking about going about it? So here's my opinion. The coolest part about programming is basically like the problem solving, like the critical thinking part of this thing. So your critical thinking, your informed decisions are always better if they are informed, you know? So if I told you about that, like the memory constraint, the operational constraint. So what I'm gonna do is basically, so I have the trail, right? I have the trail. Now I have to first I'm going to choose how much of the trail I am going to draw. Okay. So I have leave trail. I'm gonna add another counter up here on the entity class. I'm gonna call it self dot snake length. Or actually, no, I got a better idea. I'm gonna make a subclass of this. I'm gonna call it snake. So I'm gonna make another class here. So I'm gonna open another little document here. I'm gonna call it snake dot py because this is gonna be only the snake will have all of these attributes. Just let me check real quick how to do class inheritance. Yeah. I just have to check class inheritance. Oh, look at that Python class inheritance. I just have to check out. I will get more into this here in a bit. So let me see. Um, I'll get into what class inheritance like truly is maybe in the next class. Right now I'm just gonna use it to make this a little bit easier. I just have to check out what the syntax is. Person, create a child class. Student person. Class student person. Oh, how interesting. Okay, cool. So in the class snake, I'm gonna do class. Oh, first we have to import it, of course. So from entity import entity. Then I'm going to do class snake. I'm gonna feed it. So you feed it the entity class snake entity init. Oh, I gotta do def init. Yeah, def init self, and then you just call the super function. So super basically just loads the other class into this class. So self dot super, I think it is self dot super. Let me see how it's. No, let me see how.
Um,
Yes.
for some reason, when I made the branch, like the entity is like crossed out or something.
Oh, because okay, let me help you out with that. One second.
I can't afford
Oh, yes, it's just called super.
it.
One second.
Um,
One second.
you got it. Oh, why is that? I'll help you. I'll help you. No, but this is main. That was actually pretty big. Yeah, I got it. Oh, actually, do you know that? Yes. Not a really good one, so. Oh, yeah. Usually you have to put it down on the desktop. Yeah, plus I can use better guys. I don't know. You got it? She got it. Yeah, all the code is there. You got it? Yeah, you have to download it. Yeah, yeah. So create a new file. You're gonna create a new file. You see, that's what you should have on that file. So it's just called snake.py. So, oh, you need to download VS Code if you don't have it. Maybe you have it. Oh, so do VS Code now. VS Code. You need to download it. Okay. So I know what you did. Yeah. So, something wrong. Yeah, that's fine. So, and I'll show you. What how is it deleted? Just open it up and delete it again. Nothing before. Rather than open 16. Well, here you can branch. Right. And then you have to choose that you're killing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's to those names. Okay. Dope. So with that, what did we do there? Okay. So when we're doing this class inheritance stuff, basically all that I did here, don't think about it too much. I'll explain it more next class. But all that I did there is basically I loaded everything that I have from entity. Now all of that is loaded into this snake class, so it has the same properties. Okay. So basically, at the moment, uh, snake is basically the same as an entity. Okay. Yeah. So now we need to, but now we need to change it up a bit. So that's why. What? Mm, Damn, that's a philosophical question. Uh, anything could be an end. I mean, what it is a thing. Like an entity is a thing. It's like it could be anything. But like I use entity in here to describe something that is physical that moves around. Okay, so now we have like we have the that's an interesting question, but yeah, we have and it's interesting to also to explain the class hierarchy that we have. So the entity class is something that like I don't know, like philosophically describes
something that will exist on our world and it will move. Okay, it describes that. Now, when I make a subclass of that, then I say like what type of thing I'm making move on the world. So you have an entity that could be something that is from a fly to a dinosaur. Okay, and then I'm gonna specify is it either a fly or a dinosaur or something in between, and we're making a snake. Is that clear? Okay. So now when it's downloaded, the little file that I okay, so the file that I downloaded for her, you can get mine is red. So if you want to do red, what? So this this you need to open with that. So that opened it, yeah. So I want to this.
Oh, you put themes of VS Code?
Yeah, mine's red.
Or like, you put any color?
Any, well, I mean, if you find the color you like,
Oh, I change it to red.
I mean, you want to find the red theme, or like I like red.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna ask, the init always has double underscore?
Yeah.
Alright.
No, no, where is this folder red? Chakras, I think this one. Open that, and there you go. You have everything. Now you just make the new file, call it okay. Copy trust me. Then there you go. Using here, you just call it touch this shit. Okay. Python, no, snake.py. Okay, and then you just put that there. Okay. So now, yeah. So now what I need to do here is I'm gonna modify the 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 draw class a little bit, okay? So I have this draw trail class. So I'm gonna copy it from the entity and I'll paste it on the snake, okay? And I'm also going to add an extra thing here. I'll call it self dot length. I'm gonna make it equal to 5, okay? Self dot I'm gonna as a snake. Yeah, you should do that. And also you need to install Python. I don't even know if you have Python on your Mac. Okay, but you need to install Python too. So no, no, that's not Python. That's just extension. So go to the internet, look up Python, and download it and install it. Okay. And you also have to install another thing, but we'll just keep doing that while I keep going with them. Okay. So now we have to do the thing that I was telling you, Alberto. So we have so think about what we're doing here. So first, actually, before we get into it, let's just make sure that everything works. So I'm gonna go into main. Okay, I'm gonna go to my game and I'm gonna go from snake import.
Is it Python 3.12?
Yeah. I'm gonna run out of battery. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm almost there. I won't let it go.
That's what gaming laptop.
Yeah, like it juices up the battery so fast. Okay. Hang on, baby. And we're good. There we go. All right, dope. Dope, 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 dope. Oh, any comments, anything? Okay, cool. All right, good stuff. I should keep my thingy there in case someone comments. Yeah, onto main. Okay, so I'm just gonna check that everything works with that real quick. So let me just put that there. Put this here. Perfect.
How did you modify from the Go Dynasty? Like, what did you have?
I just did from snake import snake on top of main. Uh, This part, we don't care about this right now. Don't worry about it. Okay, just have this. You need to have this part on the top. Okay, you have that. Good. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll let you guys take a look. Just make sure you have this on the top of in your snake file. Okay. Remember that all this is doing is basically we're importing entity into snake, and then we're just like loading entity into Snake. So basically, at the moment, at the with just this code, Snake is basically the same as entity, except that it has this other property called snake length, and we'll do something with that here in a second. Okay, are we all good? So now that I have that, I'm going to change. I'm going to change. Oh, I have a bunch of stuff here. So I'm gonna change ball one into just being. Okay, so I'm gonna change ball one and I'm gonna call it snake. So how do you do that? You click on ball one here and you press F2 and rename it to snake. That will change all of the imports of that same thing. And instead of loading an entity, I'm going to load a snake. Oh, and I think that is not going to work, but just let me check. Maybe it will do some magic and it will. I will go 1 second. Quick. Yeah, it's not gonna work. One more thing that you need to add to Snake real quick is that you need to add the imports, not the imports, the parameters. So let me just add this real quick. I'm gonna put this here on init. So and then you send them to. So basically, look, you have to put them on init, and then you have to put them on the super init image path, this thing. Okay. So I do that, and then I'm going to just give me let me just check that this leave it there. Yeah, it works. So I'm going to set yeah, everything works. Just make sure that you have a snake like this, and then you run it from main. Okay. Okay. What's up? So what did you not know? Did you run it? Did it install?
Yeah, I started.
Okay, it's installed.
Yeah.
Let me check. How do you open terminal on this godforsaken machine?
How do I work?
Terminal. Do you know how to open terminal?
What is that?
It's the thing they use to make command, but I don't know how to do it. They always have like somewhere. Don't worry, it's here. Let's check.
Oh, God. I think that was something.
Uh, oh, like, how do you? Oh, here it is. I said ready for me. Yeah. Okay, close. Python, so good. Terminate. Nope. Mm,
We don't know the good.
yeah. Oh.
Um,
Let's see one. Oh, you're missing the capitals. So capitalize is good. Oh no, but you didn't have capitals. Let's see. Snake. Let's go snake. Oh, all right. And you need to say if you see this blue thing here, it means you didn't save it. So snake.
I have to type that.
Yeah. On a new page. Yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah, get that. So bada bing, bada boom, and check that. So, now, okay, yeah, Press F2 on this guy. Name it snake.
Like this?
Yeah, camera is this.
Why is it
No,
different
two.
colors?
Actually, yeah, that's interesting. What was that?
Why is it different colors?
Oh, because I have a different theme. Remember, mine is on red.
Oh,
Just
okay.
focus on the words.
Alright.
So good here. Oh no, but no, that actually. So that changes things a bit. I just change this to Control S. There you go. That's the way.
How do you say
What's it say? Oh yeah, Control S. Oh, my bad. Control S to stay. Yeah. So now change this to S2 snake. That works. And change. And then you change this from entity to snake. Okay.
all of those?
All right. No, just the first one. Didn't work.
No, I think it's because I didn't. That's something.
You typed that, right?
It's like I remember I was doing this. Oh, it's giving you a column. I mean, it runs, but it does like one. Like,
Oh no, no, we're gonna go. See.
I don't know.
Hold on.
Still this one. Mine is the one.
Just keep going. It's gonna show everything.
So we'll do the line right now.
Oh yeah.
Actually, but
No, no, I'm saying like, do you remember like, we were updating like deleting the ball, and yes, like the way you have it, like deletes the ball, but like kind of like stacks them.
oh yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I didn't indent something in let me check. Pretty sure it's like, because I remember this like the if statement that was cutting like in a way cutting. Yeah. That's no, no, it's good.
I just want to show you how to do this last little thing,
Yeah.
and you can check out the video after too. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I'm recording the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Take a look at that. Now, so let me just show you how I'm gonna do this part. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to modify my draw trail. Okay. So when I do this, I'm basically like overriding the previous one. So I'm overriding the draw trail that was in the previous like the draw trail that comes from entity. I'm overriding, yeah, overriding it with the draw trail from snake. Okay. So now let's change it.
Draw let's draw the line like before.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Let's draw it up and down.
let me see. It could be. Maybe I'm not doing this correctly. Let me just check. Entity, so draw trail, and then how is the trail being drawn? Leaf
Yeah,
trails,
please.
draw trail here. So append position, we append positions. No, yeah, it's the same thing. We just use draw trail at the end. So now I'm going to change draw trail to only use the last items of the list. So how can I go about doing that? So I have to in here I'm saying blit on the point here, right? So
So update every point. Why?
so let me just check because now I am unsure of how to do this because I need to do a for loop. So just let me check real quick. For loop Python. And it's basically the thing that I was telling you
Oh
about.
yeah, like so
Yeah, so let me see it because I'm using this one. So for x and x continue for in range 10 0 to 6. Yep. So in range. Okay.
oh, so for this one, you're gonna put like an exact number
Yeah.
or something. It's like for Anderson Reed, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a range. I'm g- and I'm gonna get that range from a specific point to so first I need to know how long the list is. So I can do that by doing so I can do that by doing this. So it is self dot trail, right? Self dot trail dot length, or is that how you do it? Let me just check. Oh, length. Okay. Uh, ln. So length of trail. So that gives me my top margin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I need my bottom margin. So I need to do range. It would be stop in it.
So I'm on number 6, right? And I'm trying to put from snake import snake, and it won't recognize the snake. Supposedly, it only recognizes it as a capital S.
Uh,
So I tried running it. I don't know if that's a mistake or something. Or
No, because your snake is capital. Here's capital S. Snake.
supposed to be capitalized.
It depends on how you wrote it. Because she wrote it. The thing that she wrote this one with capital, right? You did it. Yours was not capitalized, so that's what the first one refers to this, okay? The second one refers to this name, right? That's why capitalized the other name, yours.
So
Yes, but you
So
can
it's
also
not
do it
wrong?
without. So it's not wrong. Yes, right. So, but you classes usually you always want to capitalize. Okay, always capitalize your class. Okay.
so I don't, okay, so I actually don't think I'll have enough time to do this part. But in here, like here is where you can like do some cool things with this whole thing. But let me see. Maybe I'll have time. So range. So range. So I have the top bound. I have a range. So I want to.
Wouldn't you do range length? Use length.
No.
So no, the range is actually the amount of times I want to repeat it. So the range I will do is self dot snake length. Okay. So self dot snake length, and then it would be the length. The length. Let me just think for 1 second. It'll be the length. Be the length.
Let me see yours. With mankind.
Length minus. Yeah, it'll be the length minus the. Okay, I got you. So let me show you. So it'll be the length minus how many there are. So just let me for x in range that. So let me just do that real quick. And you'll see.
This still will not let me run it. It says error every time.
For in range snake so the snake length. Yep, and then this will be let it'll be in. I'm just gonna name it index length snake snake snake. Oh, sell the trail. Let's see length sell the trail. Oh, index is equal minus x minus, so index is equal to the minus x. So this gives me the pointer. Yep. Yep. And so yeah. Well, x is the point. No, x is the range. Is the I'll get yes. Yeah. You're getting it. You're getting it. And then what I have to do here is just select the right one. So I do self. Yeah. So self dot trail, and then I select the index. So I'm gonna name it now. I would name it point is equal to that, and then I just do this. Put it here, there, and this little shoddy algorithm should work. But let's give it a try. So that, and just let me give it a try here real quick, see if it works. Oh, I just clicked off of it, or did it crash? Let me just check. Oh, something is wrong. Self the trail index. Oh, because that is minus something. Oh yeah.
Why you not let me run?
Yeah, I'll be with you in 1 second, okay? Just let me do this. Let me turn this into 5. I think that should make it work. Change to 6. Maybe that work.
That's how you do it.
Let's see. Nope. List of indexes out of range. Uh, so I wish I had more time. So I try to get into that in the next class. I definitely have to do. I'll do a video to make sure I'll do the video over the weekend. But yeah. So if you guys, I mean, it would be super cool if you guys just try to figure it out by yourselves too, because that's the best way to learn. So, oh, image pan. Did you know that my sequence teachers earlier we want over in class here? Really? Yeah, that's amazing. He gives a project already. I will give us a project.
I passed my chemistry final.
Right.
It's already fun.
Very nice. You can even check the group chat. They're like, what is going on? You know, very lucky.
What is
If you need help, you come to the lab. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I'm missing the site, so I should do that.
I'm going to math class.
Come on Friday. And you know what? Sitting grading created like 2 assignments. I think it. Oh, well, sometimes that happens. Oh, oh, because yeah, that's why.
Oh, the capital system?
No,
No.
you just have to do instead of just change the name. You have Oh, where's your?
I don't have
You
exactly.
don't have. Oh,
We try doing that. We don't.
Okay, no,
Okay.
it's fine. You can just run, don't change the name. Oh, should work. There you go. Okay, works. There you go. All right, cool. So the problem that I have here, I know what the problem is. I just have to like do a little bit of more thinking. I did this without thinking that much, but yeah, Alberto, you think you know what the problem is. So basically, the thing that you have to do is no, it's fine. But I want you to the thing that I'm trying to do. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You have to figure out a couple of things, and when you figure those things out, you can make this work.
Yeah.
Try to make it work. That'll be like the homework. But the the truth of this whole thing,
Well,
what
the point what it's supposed to output is like uh deleting, well not deleting, but like removing like the ball from the screen every time a new one appears or something.
okay, that's already been done, right?
Yeah.
It already does that. Now what we
We
need
have
to
to
do.
read out.
Oh, okay, that part, yeah. Let's catch me in the lab later, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that part. Okay,
Right.
I'll make sure that you have that part.
Yeah.
Now, remember, but then after that, I'll just put this so it stays on the record so we can talk about it after. Uh, what you have, is you have the list, right? And you are reading this part of the list, okay? And then after that, you're reading this part of the list. And then after that, you're reading this part of the list. And then after that, you're reading this part of the list, right? So you start reading, you're reading this part, then you're reading this part, then you're reading this part, and you're reading this part, right? You're just changing the part that you read of the list that just keeps growing, right? So how do I do that? Is I get the length of the list, how long the list is, and that's by basically the last point. So I know how long the list is. Then I get the length of the snake, which is 3 or 5 at our point, and I just go from the end of the list. I grab the last 3 items, this one, this one, this one, and I put those on the graph. Then I delete them, and then in the next iteration, I go to the end of the list, right? I go to the end of the list, I go back 3, and then I print the last 3 items of the list,
You
right?
split.
Split them, yeah, print them, split them.
Print.
But yeah, and I split them just the last 3 items of the list. Every time I just want to do the last 3 items of the list. And how do I do that? I get the full length of the list, and then I just go to the end of the list. So I have the length of the list is how long the list is. So if I have 10 items, right? My last item is item 9, right?
Yeah.
Because I start from 0. And then I go back 3. So 9 minus 3, 6. I go to item 6, okay? And I go from 6, 7, 8, 9. I print those. Now, my next iteration, my list is 11, so the last item is 10, right? 10 minus 3, 7. I go
Right.
to item 7, 7, 6, 8, 10. I print those, and so on.
Okay.
That's
I kind of get it.
okay. So we'll uh
The approach you were trying to make, you said you already said like a length, like
yeah,
an actual length. So that's like the main length.
that's the thing that I am subtracting to the total length, right?
Yeah. So that's like the main length. Then you're okay.
So I have the length of the list, right? I have the length of the list that keeps growing. So every time I add a new item to it, so first is 1, then it's 2, then it's 3, then it's 4, then it's 5, then it's 6, then it's 7, then it's 8, right?
Yeah.
And then I go how long the snake is. Is the snake is at the beginning. It always has. That's why I thought that I had that bug. Is because my thing is here is 5.
Right.
And 5 minus 1 gives you -4. There's no item -4.
Yeah.
So I cannot do it. So I need to wait until I'm here. So 5 minus it gives me 0. So actually, yeah, I go to item 0, and then it prints all of this. Then it's still 5. Still 5 here, right? Still 5 here. then it goes back. Now it starts on item 1, right?
Yeah.
5 here, it goes to item 2, right?
Oh.
And now think about this. Now, let's say you eat one of the apples, these become
Yes.
6.
Become 6. Okay.
Become 6, and then you go back. Instead of going back to 1 or whatever, you go back 1 more,
Right.
right? And then your snake is longer.
Yeah, I definitely get it.
So that's like, then why do I did this whole thing is that whenever I eat a new little apple on the snake, this number grows.
And
What?
do you have a pen there? Like,
No, I would just change the number.
just change the number.
Change the number because this number is what's being subtracted.
It adds to length.
And no, the length. Well, no,
Would you?
the length of the. Keep this in mind. The length of that array keeps growing because every frame I'm adding something into the array. That's regardless. That array is gonna keep growing. Okay,
So
it's gonna keep.
you eat the apple. Okay.
Yeah, but when I
Yeah.
change the length of the snake, right? When I change the length of the snake, I'm telling this thing to go back 1 more when it's drawing the snake, right? So you weren't here last time. So let me add that. Let me actually do it with the analogy of the pirate again.
Fire.
Yeah. Because I think that will help out a bit. So these lists, okay? You gotta think about them, okay? Let's say that you have a pirate that wants to hide his treasure on this island, right? Here's his little pirate ship. Okay, go for it. Yeah. Here's the little pirate ship. He disembarks here. Here's the little pirate, little pirate hat, little pirate sword. You know, little pirate sword. And then he's like, "Oh, yar, I'll be putting the treasure down here." So he starts walking, right? But as he's walking, right, he's putting down the spots that he walked on. Okay, so he goes here, he goes there, he goes there, he goes to the palm tree. He goes to the palm tree because he won't remember. This guy drinks a lot of alcohol, so his memory is kind of bad. Okay, a lot of rum. So he starts writing down the spots that he was at. Okay, so the first spot that he was at, he just writes down the XY coordinates of that spot. So this is 0, 0. Then he starts going to the right, right and up a little bit. So the next spot that he's at is 1, 1. So I increase my X, I increase my Y a little bit. Then I only go, and let's make this a little bit more robotic so it's a little bit easier to see. So then I go here and I go 1, 1 because I increase my X and increase my Y. Then I go to spot, then I only increase my X, and then I'm in spot 1, no, 2, 1, yeah. And so on, right? And I'm recording all of these numbers, right? Ba 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 ba. He goes up the cave mountain with the skull, They have it on all those pirate movies, He goes there. He does a little loop around it because he's drunk. He goes to the shack, the abandoned shack here. He says like, nah, not that place. And then he settles for a spot over here to bury his treasure. Okay, so for him to go back, he needs to recall all the spots that he was at. Okay, how do we save those spots in the? Sorry, what? What was that? The memory, right? And the memory, we call it, for this, we call it an array, which is just a list, okay? A list of data points like that start at 0, and they just keep growing like that.
Thing that you did earlier.
Yeah. Right? Well, to infinity, theoretically, yes. Like mathematically, you could say it goes to infinity, but in the real world, we have a constraint that is like we have a certain amount of memory, right? Keep that in mind. But yes, to infinity per se, but in reality, not infinity because memory is finite, right? Even though it's very large, it's not infinite. Okay. So I am recording all the spots that I was at, like all of these spots, right? And then I am drawing them from the beginning to the end, right? So in order to draw this little graph of where he went, I have to recall all these spots, all these data points that he was at, and I just put them all on the map. That's how we draw the trail, right? But now we're saying like, okay, how do we make kind of a little snake out of it? Meaning that we are deleting as we're drawing forward, we're deleting the back.
Taking the position, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Taking the position of like the movement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're going forward, we delete the back.
Yeah, exactly. I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta think per se is that as he's going forward, as the pirate goes forward, he starts deleting for some reason because maybe he doesn't want his accomplices, his other pirate buddies to find out where he buried the treasure. So he starts going forward, and when he gets here, okay, he looks at his map and he deletes the first part, okay, and then when he gets here, he deletes the other part, right? And then this starts to. So let's say that he.
So every time you get further, you delete one more.
Well, you don't delete it because I was talking with Roberto about it, but deleting is pretty time consuming. But it is kind of an analogy to it. But yeah, what you're doing in order to animate it that way is as you go forward so he goes here, he gets here, right? He deletes the last point, and then when he gets here, he deletes the last point, and then when he gets here, he deletes the last point. Right? So that's how we do it to create the snake. Okay? So think about that. And that is based on this. Okay? So the homework is to get it to work. Okay? So if you guys need help, let me know. Okay? So